Look. No. Get the fuck out of here. Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. What show we have for you? The final NXT before Stand and Deliver. We're going to be standing and delivering coming up. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams once were best of friends. Now they're enemies. These two men will meet at Stand and Deliver in the main event. Or Stand and Deliver coming up. We'll talk about that coming up. Also, too, a lot of Stand Deliver implications as well. Who's going to get a shot at the NXT Tag Team Championships in the Triple Threat match between the Good Brothers, Frazier and Axiom, are the LWO and Noam Dar hosts Supernova Sessions with Live Recure, the NXT Women's Champion, along with her challenger, Roxanne Perez. Things can heat up in these combustible elements. We'll talk about it coming up. As well as Obafemi, the NXT North American Champion, takes on Joe Gacy one-on-one. We'll see that as well, including some more matches as well. Fallon Henry take on JC Jane. Saul Roku take on Blair Davenport. A lot going on. And we'll talk about The Rock's throwback gear as he had worn, that he's getting himself prepared for with Jimmy Fallon, him and Universal Champion Roman Reigns. That should be interesting when The Rock had war. We'll get to it all when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. And plus, also, too, WWE announced Clash at the Castle coming back for Clash at the Castle 2, but this time in June. We'll get there and more as Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, of always, Kendra Diggs here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Thanks for watching. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe who's caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. All right. We got a lot to get to as we continue on our march to WrestleMania. WrestleMania is coming. As you see right here, NXT part of the march, Stand Deliver. We're marching to WrestleMania coming up. As WrestleMania will be coming up this Saturday and Sunday. Don't forget the Pro Wrestling Show will have coverage of WrestleMania with a lot of coverage, including the Ring Pro Wrestling Predict the Outcomes and the reviews and the ring reports. So look for that this weekend as we have our WrestleMania weekend as well. Man, oh man, let's get to it. Let's get to the nitty gritty right now. This NXT was kind of like a lame duck NXT, getting you set and getting you ready for WrestleMania. Stand Deliver. A lot of the stars getting themselves ready. We kick things off with Axiom and Nathan Frazier, who could be potentially getting a shot at the Tag Team Championships. They did against the Good Brothers in the LWO. I think it was just a filler match tonight, and it became a filler match as well, filling up to what we're going to see and what predictions we're going to get. We know that Frazier and Axiom will get a shot at the Tag Team Championships. The Wolf Dogs, Baron Corbin, and Braun Breaker one-on-one. So we'll see that match coming our way. So we see right here that they get the shot at the Tag Team Championships at Stand and Deliver. So they will stand. Could they stand and deliver by winning the Tag Team Championships? It's only a matter of time. We will have to wait and see and find out. Also, too, JC Jane has a former alliance with Kiana Chance. JC Jane and Kiana Chance are forming an alliance together of what had happened tonight. They're forming some alliance. JC Jane won her match tonight. JC Jane getting herself ready. We know that at Stand and Deliver, probably for the Stand and Deliver, a 6-woman tag team match, JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dean will take on Tia Hill, Fowler Henry, and Kiana Jordan one-on-one. We'll see that match, the six-woman tag team match. I think that'll probably be the second match of the night, second match of the day. He asked me on what going down, what's going to happen between them. So we'll see that match heading towards store. Also, too, Lexis King was in action as well. Lexis King winning his match tonight. Lexis King, the son of Brian Pillman, won his match tonight. So Lexis King getting himself a shot and opportunity as well. So we'll see. Also, too, as you see right here, I don't know what's going on. A lot of these women's matches going on and stuff. NXT became a filler match, if you ask me, between them and how they was going to go. A filler and stuff. How this was going to seep down and stuff. And we see, look, what's her name? But hey, she ain't there. Look at Oba Femi was in action. Oba Femi went against Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy got attacked and by Sean Spears. I don't know what's going on with Sean Spears attacking you know who. What's going on with that? Also, too, Noam Dar hosted the Supernova Sessions. Noam Dar getting himself ready for the Supernova Sessions. Noam Dar to getting himself ready, as you see right here, the Supernova Sessions. Noam Dar hosted Roxanne Perez and Live right here. Roxanne Perez showing a new mean streak, a new attitude in her abilities and stuff, and what's going on, and how they was going to go for her. But we can tell and see on how that's going to go eventually between them and stuff, and how that's going to work out in between. So we'll see. Roxanne Perez be the next women's champion. Only time will tell. Also, too, Ariana Grace was in action as well. Ariana Grace, it was just like, to me, a lot of these matches was unnecessary. They could have just done a special, a package, a special on everybody to get you ready for Stand and Deliver. But the only thing that was interesting was Ilya Dragunov, the NXT champion. He will meet Tony D'Angelo for the NXT championship. Tony D'Angelo said he needs this win. He wants this win. He has to stand and deliver in his momentum in this win. So he wants to be the NXT champion. But Tony D'Angelo and Ilya Dragunov will battle for the NXT championship. There's a lot of games were played and stuff like that. So hey, even to the point that I feel like to be honest with you, to be perfectly honest with you, I feel more so like Trick Williams and them. That should have been the NXT championship match if they're the main event. That's just me being my honest opinion. But hey, I don't write the rules. Shawn Michaels does, but I would advise HBK. Also, too, Bria Pearsley was in action as well. Bria Pearsley was in action. Bria Pearsley was in action. She kind of set the tone, set the standard of what she had going on tonight. Bria Pearsley getting herself together and getting herself ready for a match, being humiliated. Even to the point that Ava, the general manager, gave Joe Gacy a match. And I think Joe Gacy will be taking on Sean Spears probably at Stand and Deliver or probably next week on NXT. We'll see. Plus, the match that everyone been talking about, Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. Both men have something to prove. And at Stand and Deliver, these two men was once the best of friends, now the best of enemies. And these two men will battle, and I'm going to watch that main event real closely and intently. These are two future, I believe, future WrestleMania main eventers in my book, to me. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes could main event WrestleMania one day, could main event WrestleMania together or separately. But they had the friendship came to an end after Carmelo's jealousy over Trick over the past years. And we'll talk about that. We'll give you a little bit more coming up this weekend on the Stand and Deliver review show. So look for that coming up your way sooner rather than later. But they had a face-to-face. They talked about how they was down for each other, and now things just ain't where it used to be no more. And I think Trick Williams kind of sees that. I think Carmelo feels that Carmelo played Trick, and Carmelo Trick felt Trick had to learn the hard way, and Trick will get his retribution and his revenge this Sunday. And we'll tell you on predict the outcome who I believe who's going to leave stand and deliver. But it ensued in a brawl, and the brawl ensued between Trick and Carmelo, heading towards stand and deliver. Whether stand and deliver, it could be event on what's going on. So we could see that being the possibility coming up. But that ends the NXT ring report. Let's move forward to wrestling hot topics on wrestling hot topics. We got a lot to talk about tonight on wrestling hot topics right here. Clash at the Castle. The last Clash at the Castle was nearly 2 years ago when Roman Reigns defended the world title, the Universal Championship, against Drew McIntyre. Drew was a little bit short of his shortcomings that night, but things could be changing for Drew. If Drew wins the world title, he can come back to his homeland of Scotland. I think that's what they're going to do. I think Drew's going to be coming back to Scotland with the world championship around his waist. So we could see that being a possibility heading our way. My God. I think this took. Just take this back. Sorry, folks, fans. Yeah, as you see right there, that could be the possibility at Clash at the Castle. Drew McIntyre could be leaving out Clash with the World Championship in tow. So we could see that being the possibility at Clash. So being that way, in that way, learn that way. So we could see that in Drew McIntyre's moment turn to his own way. The World Championship around his waist as a champion at Clash at the Castle. So we could see that being the possibility. So, hey, even this arena right here could be the home of Clash at the Castle coming up as well. So we could see that being that way for Clash at the Castle in Scotland. In the final arena. How they be tonight. So this is WrestleMania week. As you see right here, this is the WWE. We're following WWE's playbook for WrestleMania week and what they have in store. A lot in store for WrestleMania week. As you see right here, we had Raw, we had SmackDown, we had NXT. So WrestleMania week continues tomorrow with WWE Speed. So WWE will debut Speed. Speed with that new channel, the new endeavor for WWE. So a taste of speed, and we'll see. Then we'll lead to WrestleMania coming up. The bump will be on Thursday. I don't know why it come on Thursday, but we'll see. It's on the play. Other stuff going on in the world of WWE this week. So looking forward to seeing how WWE does it and how we'll see. And how that's gonna go. We know tomorrow The Rock and Roman Reigns will set to promote WrestleMania. They're gonna do it on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. So we'll get to see that. Jimmy Fallon sits down with The Rock and Roman, probably with a big WrestleMania match against Cody and Seth Rollins. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing that match as well. Rock and Cody turning on Roman and Seth. I mean Cody. And I'm looking forward to seeing that match. There with Rock. Speaking of The Rock did a throwback to himself. Remember the time when The Rock was the WWE champion back in 2000? That's nearly 24 years ago. Rock held that, recreating that vest and stuff. I like it. One thing about the great one, The Rock knows how to put his thing on things and stuff. So The Rock wearing his vintage vest that he wore nearly 30 years ago, nearly 25 years ago. Rock looks phenomenal. One thing about The Rock, the great one, The Rock, is the final boss. He is that all the time, man. Really believe it. Rock is the final boss. So, final boss from everything. All right, that ends the NXT ring report. Don't forget, tomorrow we did coverage and stuff. The march to WrestleMania continues with the SmackDown ring report. We're gonna still have the pro wrestling show for the AEW Dynamite ring report. Like a lot going on in outside of AEW. But don't forget the march to WrestleMania. We told you we did the Raw coverage, ring report, the SmackDown ring report, the NXT ring report tonight. Don't forget SmackDown coming up this weekend. This weekend coming up will be SmackDown. Then we'll have the NXT Stand Deliver ring report. Predict the outcome. Then WrestleMania night and one for WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday. Don't forget about him. We're gonna have a lot of coverage and stuff, and then we'll have the review show about the matches and stuff. So we're gonna have you covered. Regardless. So tomorrow we will have the AEW Dynamite ring report. CM Punk being in the news is like criticizing his ex-boss Tony Khan about the working conditions in AEW. There was when they were a happier time, and this one was that worth time. So on the thumbnail, I put down, "Hey, will Tony Khan respond?" And Tony Khan hasn't responded yet. I mean, this done. I mean, bad already. Did character assassination on you. Don't get it, but hey, it is what it is. So we'll talk about that and we'll get details about that coming up. All right. That's just for the Pro Wrestling Show for the NXT Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix. We're going to leave you with the brawl and stew between Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. We'll see you on the NXT side of things on the Stand and Deliver, Predict the Outcome, and Review Show. See you later.